Welcome to the vlog. It's about time that I do my race recap from Dallas. Oceanside is literally on TV right there. So it's been 2 weeks since my race in Dallas and I've been really tired and really busy. So I haven't really had the time to sit down and do a race recap or a race week vlog. So first off, I want to say I had a great time in the US. It's been 2.5 years since the last time I was there. So that was when I raced 70.3 Augusta in 2023. So we haven't been in the US since then, and it was really fun to go back. I was staying in an Airbnb in Lake Dallas with my lovely mother-in-law who came to support me from Ohio. So we had a fun girls' week, and I've been really good at turning my race weeks into mini vacations lately. So it just was so much fun. We did all kinds of nice things, including a little spa. Like I got a facial. We went shopping. We ate good food. I did a fun group ride with Ender Bike Shop. They had this group ride that was like TT bikes allowed group ride. So that was quite nice. We swam with the Texas Ford Aquatics Masters, so shout out to them. It was super fun. Thank you so much for letting us come and join your practice. And just kind of overall, the vibes were good. I felt really relaxed and happy and excited to race. Good morning. It's Friday, March 13, and we are 2 days away from the race. I am having my second cup of coffee outside. I just talked to Robert. This morning is going to be pretty chill because we are waiting to head to the race village where I'm going to do a shakeout run on the running course as well as a little open water swim before picking up my packet, but that doesn't open, or the registration doesn't open until 2 p.m. So we're trying to time it all together. So I'm having a little bit more relaxed morning, enjoying coffee. I think talking to my coach a little bit later about my race plan, and I guess reading, doing a little bit of work, and just kind of enjoying the slower morning. I've been having such a great time here in Texas. We drove the course yesterday, and it's something else. It's good to know what is out there. There's a lot of stuff out there, but now I at least have seen it, so that's very good. Looking forward to racing on Sunday. I feel calm and ready. And I was like literally hyping myself up for a good swim, a good bike, and a good run. But honestly, I think the race was kind of a mixed bag. So I got 5th place, female pro, and I'm really happy about that actually. Like, I think it was solid, but I feel kind of weird about my performance. Like, I'm not sure if it was a great performance, but I think generally like finishing 5th place in a pro race is always good, and winning some prize money is always nice. But yeah, so turns out I was a little sick during the race. I didn't realize that until the race morning and 2 weeks after almost. So all week my belly was a little funny, and I thought that maybe it's related to drinking the tap water, the change in the bacterial culture going from Finland to Dallas. I have a very sensitive stomach in general, so I just thought that I reacted to that. And I kind of went through the motions during the race week, but then in the middle of the night before the race, so this was between Saturday and Sunday night, I woke up in a puddle of sweat, and my stomach was just hurting in the middle of the night. And I didn't feel particularly nervous before the race, so I didn't think that it was like, nervousness. I was kind of tossing and turning from like 2 a.m. till whatever time I was supposed to get up, and I didn't hear my alarm because I had earbuds in. I was already awake, but I was kind of determined that I'm not gonna get up until the alarm, and I didn't even hear it for like 10 minutes until I realized that, oh my gosh, my alarm is like going off. And I got up at like 4:55 a.m. and my stomach was hurting and it was not good. I'm not gonna go into the details because it can be pretty graphic, but stomach was not good, and I was a little nervous that I had lost all my electrolytes because of the sweating plus whatever was going on in my stomach. But I took Imodium and decided that I'm just gonna roll with it, and hopefully no cramping will happen. And we went to set up transition, and then soon we heard an announcement that said that the swim is going to be cancelled. But then we also learned soon that it's only going to be cancelled for age group, but professionals still are going to do a swim. But then we were told that the swim was going to be 350 meters instead of 1900 meters, and it's actually going to be reversed. So we're going to start at the original swim exit and finish at the original swim start, and then it's going to be time trial start with 5-second gaps, and then it was just kind of chaotic, and I felt a little mixed feelings about that because, well, first off, I had prepared myself to do a better swim. Like, I had hyped myself up that I'm gonna go and have a good swim, I'm going to be in a group, I'm gonna have feet and to hold on to, and like I was kind of mentally like going through that all week and getting ready. And then second of all, I was not sure if the short swim would be of my benefit, even though technically yes, because I'm not a good swimmer. But I kind of thought that since the gaps are going to be so little, it will affect the riding dynamics, and it definitely did. So I was kind of thinking that maybe doing the whole swim would still be better for me, because I would get to do my own bike ride instead of like being stuck with people and kind of like having to be aware of like the drafting zones and stuff. So I think my swim went okay, being very short. But then I was riding with some women, kind of getting dropped by them, then riding back to them, passing them kind of passing me back, but not really wanting to ride into the wind. So it was kind of like this weird play of like passing back and forth, and then kind of not being able to ride my own power. And also the like kind of getting used to the new 20-meter zone. Then also like I haven't really been riding with Race Ranger that much, so it was kind of like scary to see the lights, and of course like every time I saw a red light I had to go and pass, and I felt like I was kind of spending all my energy, well, first off trying to stay upright in the wind, which was insane. Like, I've never experienced anything like that, so that took a lot of my energy. And then also like playing this weird game with some other women, which is a part of racing, but yeah, I think that was kind of frustrating at times. But I was so spent, and honestly like I almost like just wanted to quit a million times. Not even almost, but I really just like was so tired and just not feeling good, not feeling like I could like push my normal power. Just kind of like, if I had not been in the middle of nowhere in Texas, I think I would have wanted to like pull over. But since we were like on a highway somewhere, I don't even know where, I just felt like I just needed to keep riding. And so that's kind of the mindset. And also like I was thinking that if I'm feeling this shit, everyone else must be feeling like this too. Like, I can't just be the one who is struggling this bad. But it was so horrible because the first half we rode like 45 to 50 k's per hour, and then the second half it was just like fighting the crosswinds and also riding like under 30 k's per hour. So that was very demoralizing, and I also felt like I couldn't really drink as much as I would normally do because of like the wind and trying to like stay aero and trying to stay upright and not taking your hands off the handlebars. And I got to the transition in fourth place, and I started my run, and I did not feel good. And I was kind of worried that I would crack, and I felt like it was gonna get worse. But honestly, it felt as horrible the whole time. It didn't get worse, but it also didn't get any better, and I felt pretty terrible the entire run. And I told my mother-in-law, I saw her on the side, and I told her basically something like, I feel awful, or I feel horrible, or whatever I said. And I think she heard that I'm saying like, I'm gonna like stop. So she had like texted Robert and my mom and said that like she's gonna stop. And I think they were like a little worried about me because I have some history of heat illness. But honestly, like, yeah, it was a weird feeling of like pushing and just feeling like horrible the whole time, but then kind of like hoping that like I'd make it without it getting worse. And yeah, it didn't get worse. And I was able to hydrate pretty well during the run, taking my normal gels. And then during the last lap, this one girl passes me, and like I'm running like 15 meters behind her, and I'm just kind of like unable to match her pace, and I'm just kind of like accepting that she's gonna go. I also saw her bib number, so I kind of knew that she is ahead of me a lot in the race. She's run or biked a lot faster than me, so like basically if I wanted to beat her, I would have to like run 2 minutes faster than her or whatever. But I'm kind of trailing her the whole last lap, and then we were turning the corner, and then it's like the last whatever, like 800 500 meters, and I'm just kind of like starting to pick up my pace, and like, you know, the former track girl in me is like, I'm not gonna lose this, like even though I know it's not going to change my position in the race, like I'm still going to be 5th place and this girl's gonna be 4th place. I'm still gonna go as hard as I can, and I like try to outsprint her, which I did. And it was kind of fun, but also it was like, well, what was this for? But it was still like, you know, important, like my pride, you know. But that was one of the hardest races that I've ever done, and I'm so happy I had one race under my belt before this, because if this had been my first race of the season, I would have been pretty freaked out how hard it was. So kind of like knowing that not every race is gonna feel this awful. And yeah, I think generally like I'm happy with the placing, but like I said, like I didn't feel great. And of course, like you don't have to feel great to do well, but it was just kind of like frustrating because of the stomach thing, and just kind of feeling like I couldn't ride my normal rhythm, and running was like kind of like I wanted a better time, but I ran a very similar time that I normally run. So I think in that sense, it's a step forward, because those conditions were super hard, like the wind, and it was already really warm during the run. So running right where I usually run means that in better conditions, I could have run a lot better. And I think that's just a sign that I've done the right things during the off season, and I am ready for the real season to start later, and I can expect myself to PR in the run also. Unfortunately, we had to travel back home, or I had to travel back home the next day. So I had kind of hoped to be able to race at Oceanside as well. But I got waitlisted in February when I tried to register, because it was already at capacity. And then right before traveling to Dallas, I learned that I could register. But at that point, I had already made my travel plans, and I didn't go with it. But then I saw Anne-Marie, who is the race promoter for pros in Dallas, and she encouraged me to register just in case I could make it work. So I basically looked into changing my flights, looked into getting accommodation in Oceanside, but it would have been way too expensive to be a feasible addition to the season. So I had to travel home. I got home and spent a week at home fighting jet lag, feeling super tired. And then 1 week later, I went to a swim camp in Pori, like last summer. So I decided that if I'm not going to Oceanside, I'm going to use that time wisely. And it was such a good decision. I'm so excited I went. It's always so valuable when I get to work with the swim coach. And he told me that I could swim a 27-minute half Ironman swim right now based on my technique and fitness. So I don't know what the issue is, like why am I not swimming that fast? But after spending 3 days there, doing 6 swims, one-on-one coaching, I'm confident that the next 2 months before my next race are going to be better and I can improve a lot in the swim, and I will be working hard, and now I kind of know what to focus on. So my next race will be at the championship in Summerin in May 24. And after that, I will do Challenge St. Pölten on May 31. So it's the double trouble week of half Ironmans or middle distance races. Before that, I will do a good training block and maybe some local running races or some other fun stuff. Honestly, I'm pretty tired right now. We came home yesterday from the camp and my sleep has not been good since the travels, and the past 3 months have been just crazy. I've been like everywhere basically in January, in Serbanias, week at home, 3 weeks at camp, week at home, Dallas, week at home, swim camp. So I'm really excited to spend some time at home and not traveling, just kind of trying to calm my nervous system down. I was really, really excited to race in my new RTS kit for the first time in Dallas. Also meeting my teammates, it was just so fantastic. I was so happy. I think just generally just like really excited to have had 2 solid races already this early in the season. I'm just not taking that for granted after all those issues the past 2 years with my health. I am fit and healthy right now, so I'm just excited to build on that and start the real season in May. But yeah, all is good. Maybe would wish that I'd have a little bit more financial support right now, because turns out when you travel a lot, it costs a lot of money. So now it's good that I am spending a little bit more time at home and trying to save up for the next travels. But anyways, excited, living the dream, feeling good. Spring is here. There's no snow anymore. We have already done a little bit riding outside. Basically, me on the mountain bike. Can't take the Cadex out just yet because there's still some grit on the ground from the winter. But more sun, longer days. So life is good. But yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next vlog.